มาครับเพื่อนๆสวัสดีนะครับเพื่อนๆพี่นะครับใครเข้ามาแล้วฝากกดไลค์กดแชร์ฝากกดติดตามให้ด้วยนะครับเพื่อนๆมาครับแอสตันวิลล่านะครับเจอกับเซนอลนะครับเพื่อนๆครับเดี๋ยวเรามาดูกันนะครับเพื่อนๆนะครับวันนี้มาในรูปแบบแนวตั้งนะเพื่อนเดี๋ยวเราค่อยว่ากันนะครับวันนี้มาในรูปแบบแนวตั้งนะเข้ามาแล้วฝากกดไลค์กดแชร์ฝากกดติดตามให้ด้วยนะ
For the poor start they've had an excellent recovery over the last 7 or 8 games. And Unai Emery's side now sits in third place, behind Arsenal, of course, who are top of the league, looking to try to extend their lead here in this early kick-off today. Gunners already on the attack, but there is an offside just as that ball is played down the right. So it will be a free kick to Aston Villa. It's myself, Paul Shabakovic and Dale Rosso taking it to the action. Dale, we don't expect there's going to be too many goals, but they might surprise us.
Yeah, I think this game's going to be cagey from the start. I don't think Arsenal, knowing how good Aston Villa can be,
เพื่อนเกมเริ่มแล้วเพื่อนขออภัยมาลืมนั้นเพื่อนเข้ามาแล้วฝากกดไลค์กดแชร์ฝากกดติดตามให้ด้วยนะครับเพื่อนๆอาร์เซนอลนะครับเจอกับแอสตันวิลล่านะครับวันนี้มาในรูปแบบแนวตั้งนะเปลี่ยนแนวมั่งเราเปลี่ยนแนวมั่งครับเข้ามาแล้วฝากกดไลค์กดแชร์ฝากกดติดตามให้ด้วยนะครับพี่น้องครับลืมนะฝากกดไลค์กดแชร์ฝากกดติดตามให้ด้วยนะจ๊ะจะบอกอะไรให้ฝากด้วย
Pedro Hincapi and Ricardo Calafiori. Three in midfield: Martin Odegaard, Martin Zubimendi, and Declan Rice, with Bukayo Saka, Ebere Eze, and Mikel Merino as the.
อาร์เซนวิลล่าเจอกับอาร์เซนอล
Back at the edge of the Arsenal penalty area. Right with a bit of time here. Watkins isn't really pressing on this occasion. Watkins, of course, will be delighted to be amongst the goals. He was dropped a few games ago, but came back into the side against Brighton in midweek, and it certainly paid off.
Yeah, I think he just picked up form almost. He just came out polar opposite of what he had shown the rest of the season. It's taken a while, but I think he'll start to hit the ground running, and he'll be thankful for that.
Absolutely. Every striker has a bit of a lean spell occasionally. I suppose it's how you come out of that and how you then respond that marks how good a forward you are. And Watkins has had pretty much a decent run of form for a good few seasons. Of course, such a big part of that England team that got did so well in the Euros, of course, scoring that vital last-minute winner against Holland as well. So from Watkins' point of view, it was important for him to just make that stride back into the team, get some goals, of course, because it is a World Cup year. Now we know the group that England are going to have. Zemi Martinez just holding onto the ball there at the edge of his own area, being closed down. Actually does throw it out to Konza. Pressing here from Mikel Merino, and Martinez takes his time before he spots the pass to Maatsen on the left-hand side. Maatsen being closed down. Gets away from two Arsenal players. Timber's across there trying to stop his fellow countryman. In the end, he just about does enough there. Timber just gets in the way of.
ดูทรงแล้ววันนี้อาร์เซนอลน่าจะไม่ง่ายหรอกเพื่อนมาเยือนวิลล่าพาร์คอะผมว่าไม่ง่ายอยู่แล้ว
FA Cup weekend, FA Cup second round. There will be some games on our service later this afternoon to come from that. As Calafiori heads the ball away from John McGinn, he follows it and keeps it in play on the left-hand side. Being closed down here by Kamara. Getting it back towards Declan Rice. Rice with a slightly risky ball back into his own penalty area. Well, Watkins is fairly close to Ryan, but Ryan.
มาเพื่อนอย่าลืมนะเข้ามาแล้วฝากกดไลค์กดแชร์ฝากกดติดตามให้ด้วยนะ
Being perhaps a little bit too elaborate at the edge of his own penalty area, but Arsenal do keep the ball. Hincapi now out to Rice on the left-hand side. Calafiori being closed down there by Kamara. Or eventually Hincapi puts a bit more distance on that. It's up towards the halfway line. As he is underneath it, can't control it though. Villa now have it back with Kamara, playing it back to Martinez. So certainly from Villa's point of view, they're keen to hold on to the ball. Just as I say that, Pau Torres almost running into trouble in the form of Saka. Needed to get a quick ball out towards Maatsen, which he just about manages to do. And then Maatsen's clearance bounces off Ben White and goes out.
ใจเย็นใจเย็นนะ
You can see both
ใจ
sides
เย็นนะเซนอนนะ
opposition want to keep possession because they're trying to press and win it back.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I think the best way to start an attack from the front is if Aston Villa think they're comfortable, they start pressing numbers forward for a long ball or a switch, and they catch them out, and all of a sudden it's 3v3 or 2v2, and Aston Villa committed to playing it out from the back because they've taken the goal kick shot.
They're sticking to their task with that, but there's always a bit of a risk. They do actually get the ball away from their own penalty up towards the halfway line.
เอาเฮ้ยใจเย็นใจเย็นเกือบ
Keeps the ball in possession for Villa. Kamara back now towards Pau Torres at the edge of his own penalty area. Now played up towards the halfway line. Watkins was the intended target. Tillemans will chase it as well, but that's a bit of a risky touch there from Raya. He just lets the ball go behind him, and in the end, I mean, he clears that in a slightly panicked state right from his line, and there were two Villa players closing down. And then long throw for Villa from the right-hand side. It's stabbed out by Hincapié after the ball went towards McGinn. It's out for a throw, but Raya, well, he can smile now, but that looked quite dodgy to me.
Yeah, I mean, even still, he let the ball roll, and he let it roll on a curve that I personally would have been comfortable with. It goes to the line. Eventually, he cleared it away, but even still, it was forced to win the throw, which Aston Villa can still capitalize.
And it's Cash with the throw down the right-hand side. Charge down here by Eze, out for another throw to Villa, right by the corner flag.
เอ้ยใจเย็นนะหลายยาไม่เอานะหลายยา
Options in the penalty area.
เกือบไอสัตว์หลายยากูเกือบ
Happy about the shirt pull. Standard fair really when you've got any kind of set piece, including a long throw these days.
เอาไว้เอาไว้เอาไว้เพื่อน
End up inside the 6-yard box. It's headed up in the air by Mikel Merino. Pau Torres now trying to turn with the ball. He does. His cross
เพื่อน
is a big
เผื่อ
deflection.
ใครที่ยังไม่ได้ไอ้นี่นะเพื่อน
Clear that ball for Arsenal over the halfway line. Konza
ใครที่ยังไม่ได้ดู11รายชื่อผู้เล่นตัวจริงนะ
It's been closed down there by Mikel Merino, but the ball still stays here with Villa. Maatsen now playing it back towards Martinez. As I mentioned there at kickoff, Villa's recovery has been impressive, but their start was bordering on being a bit of a worry really the first 5 or 6 games.
Yeah, I think Aston Villa, again, similar to Ollie Watkins' trajectory this season itself, is they started cold and they struggled to pick up points when realistically they should have done, but now they're starting to come into form. I mean, they've realistically, off the last 5 games, picked up more points than Arsenal have, so 4 games and 1 loss, it's nothing to turn your nose up at.
No, absolutely. The form recovery has been excellent here from Unai Emery's side. Of course, they have a European campaign to contend with as well. It does always put a bit of a strain on the squad. I just mentioned as well, Villa's next game is in Europe. It's the last game in Europe before the end of the calendar year, and they will be playing away in Switzerland, away to Basel. How you want to pronounce that, as Arsenal, they're in Europe as well, of course, and there was a suggestion they may be actually be making some changes for their next European side, bearing in mind it's away to Club Brugge, and they have won 5 in 5. So it may be a time for Arsenal to rest a few players before that traditionally a very busy second half of December. Back to action here at Villa Park. 8.5 minutes on the clock, unofficial independent off-tube studio commentary. It is goalless as the ball played back now towards Emi Martinez. Through the middle, not the best control there from Rodgers. Arsenal with it back high up the field, and Zubamendi goes for goal, but it's straight down the middle. That's precisely what any side that wants to play out from the back have to be careful of. If they're caught in possession, it's a very heavy touch this from Rodgers, but then the effort from Odegaard in the end is pretty much straight down the middle.
Yeah, Arsenal are attacking now, so break off.
Yeah, we'll break off from that, but we almost didn't need to interrupt each other because we didn't actually see how Villa lost the ball. I'm assuming it's from another playing out from the back. We're still getting a replay of that previous Arsenal chance. And then, as we came back to live picture, it was like Mikel Merino had just overplayed the pass to Saka.
เพื่อนอย่าลืมนะเข้ามาแล้วฝากกดไลค์กดแชร์ฝากกดติดตามครับเตะเร็วแปลกๆเนาะ สวัสดีครับพี่สมัครเตะเร็วแปลกๆวันนี้ผมมาใหม่ไงมาแบบแนวตั้งโอริกายิงเกือบเข้าวันนี้มาแบบแนวตั้งนะเพื่อนๆแปลกๆหน่อยนะ เปลี่ยนแนวมั่งแนวตั้งน่าจะโอเคกว่าทำไมมัน
Well, it's a calamity of problems there for Arsenal. A ball that should have never got through to the edge of the area. Then when it does, Timber falls over. And even then, Watkins can only hit it straight down the middle and it's saved by Raya.
Yeah, Ollie Watkins with some wonderful footwork to just shake off both centre-halves there. The shot in the end on his weaker foot, maybe give him the benefit of the doubt, but he has to score in those positions regardless. Ollie Watkins, he's well, used to be a clinical finisher. It's a lovely pass into him, shift it onto his right and then back onto his left, shaking off the centre half, so being happy. But the shot just has to be better.
หายแล้วไงแม็กกินเฮ้ยแม็กกินยิงโอ้โหติดเซฟไอ้เหี้ยเกือบโอ้โหนายยากูเกือบเหนียวอ่ะเหนียวเลยโดนเลยรอด
should now be 1-0 to Aston Villa. I take your point as well that it is his weaker foot, but in that sort of position, and that was a World Cup game and he was playing for England because Kane was suspended. You want Watkins to score there.
Yeah, like I said, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but it's still not good enough. His caliber, who holds himself to such a high level, he'll know that he should have scored that.
Absolutely, but that's certainly a warning for Arsenal. As we can see, Arsenal had just 7 goals conceded all season, 8 clean sheets. They faced 201 shots.
เกือบเมื่อกี้เราเกือบไปแล้ว
They are first in every one of those stats in terms of defense. It has been very defensive season for Arsenal, very effective defensive season for Arsenal. With Rodgers now trying to just
เกือบไปแล้วครับพี่น้องครับ
pass towards the edge of the area is blocked off. Cashto wins it back before Eze could move the ball forward for Arsenal. With Onana now back towards Konza. Straight away, though, you can see this time the Arsenal defensive line is keeping together, and they are playing a high line as well, just trying to make things as congested as they can in their half of the field. Kamara dances away from Marino, is able to get that ball in towards Tielemans. Tielemans then finding Rodgers. He felt as though he was brought down. Peter Banks disagrees, and the ball breaks out towards Bukayo Saka on the right-hand side for Arsenal. They're on the counter now, heading towards the edge of the area. Saka inside towards Mikel Marino. Back towards Saka again. Just holds it in towards Ben White.
ใจเย็นนะใจเย็นนะใจเย็นนะใจเย็นนะไปอ๋อ
slowing things down here, not able to find any easy route to goal at this stage. It's now over towards Timber. He can't stop him from going down that right hand side, even when he's a centre back on paper. Saka now dropping a shoulder, putting it onto his left foot.
เลยครับไปแล้วซาก้าไปซาก้า
Just trying to force the ball into the box there. Saka, Arsenal, for the first time in the game, having a bit of sustained possession in the Aston Villa half, where they're not really getting pressed out of the Aston Villa half. They're allowed to have the ball in front of them. Just had to pass it around, but again, Aston Villa making their own problems, playing out from the back. They've kept hold of the ball, but it's looking shaky.
It is. I suppose from Unai Emery's point of view, maybe he's calculated that even though they look a little bit uneasy playing out from the back, there's still more chance of them keeping possession than just hitting it long. But on this occasion, Madsen's actually found a bit of space down the left, and he's going all the way to the edge of the area, finding the Rodgers now into Watkins. Watkins hits the deck just in front of the box. He wasn't fouled though. So much of an appeal in fairness from Villa, and now Odegaard brings the ball away for Arsenal. It's a decent run from the Norwegian, gets to the edge of the area, finds Saka in support. Saka looking to pull the trigger. He does pull the trigger. He forces a save out of Martinez. There's a rebound here for Odegaard. The flag stays down. He's just at the edge of the 6-yard box. No options for a shot. Goes back towards Ben White. White's ball into the box. It's missed by Mikel Marino. Saka almost wasn't expecting to head that. He does get his head to it, but he can't direct it towards goal. And now it's Arsenal's turn to get close.
Yeah, Saka shot 2 close shots for him. The one on the edge of the box. It's a really good shot in the end. Kellen away.
เย็นๆนะไซนอนนะ
Matched by the save, of course. Spills out to the right hand side, and then Bukayo Saka with the header. Say he has to do better there.
มาแล้วครับโอเดการ์ดไปโอเดการ์ดไปสวยไปแล้วซาก้าชูดแล้วยิงโอ้โหติดเซฟเอ้าโอเดการ์ด เปิดเข้าไปมงโอ้โหไม่ได้อีกโอ้โหโอ้โหน่าได้จัดเลยเพื่อนเนี่ยจังหวะซาก้าอ๋อครับมาอีกแล้วครับอาร์เซนอลมาเว้ยวันนี้เราต้องชนะนะวันนี้เราแข่งคู่แรกอะไม่กดดันนะวันนี้เราแข่งคู่แรกเราต้องชนะเอาครับมาอีกแล้วเอเซ่โอ้โหสวยครับยังได้อยู่ครับคาราเฟลลี่คาราทิมเบอร์เป็นไว้โอเคได้อยู่เฮ้ยจานฟาวเปล่าไม่ฟาวอะไรวะไม่ฟาวเฉยเลย
Matson's ball into the box is blocked here by Ben White. Quickly across here, Marino running straight into trouble with the ball from Mara. Actually blocking from behind there, but I don't think there was any suggestion of anything on the challenge, so it was okay to do it. Villa now have it back here with Onana. Back to Konza. Slow and steady this from the visit from the home side now as they try and just speed things up a little bit. Kamara and Watkins trying to link up with passing, but cleared away and now Odegaard spots a run from Saka down the right hand side. Saka getting towards the penalty area. He's got 15 นาทีนะครับยังเสมอกันอยู่0-0นะเพื่อนๆครับเผื่อใครยังไม่ได้รู้นะครับว่าใครเป็นตัวจริงบ้างนะครับเนี่ยครับอาร์เซนอลเรานะประตูเป็นลาย่าคู่เซนเตอร์เป็นทิมเบอร์กับไอคาปิเย่นะแบ็กซ้ายคาราเฟลลี่แบ็กขวาไว้กองกลางก็มีโอเดกาชูเปเมนดี้เดคไลท์ตัวลุกนะบุโกโยซาก้ามิเกลโมริโนแล้วก็เอเซ่นะส่วนซามิล่านะครับประตูเป็นมาติเนสนะคู่เซนเตอร์เป็นตอเลสกับคอนซาทั้งขวานะแคสมาตี้แคสทั้งขวามาเส้นแล้วก็กองกลาง2คนมีโอนาน่ากับกามาล่าตัวลุกนะครับโรเจอร์ติลิมองแม็กกินแล้วก็หน้าเป้าเป็นวัตกินนะครับเนี่ยตัวสำรองวันนี้ของอาร์เซนอลเรานะครับเพื่อนๆมีเกปานอกาดลุยส์เกลี่นาวาเนลลี่กาเบรียลมาติลี่ทอสซามาดูเอเก้แล้วก็โยเคเลสนะตัวเจ็บก็มอสเกล่าวิลเลียมสลีบากาเบรียลแล้วก็ไคฮาวเวตนะครับก็ประมาณนี้นะครับเพื่อนๆ11รายชื่อตัวจริงแบบเร็วๆเลย โอเคฮะsomebody on social media here and there, but certainly amongst the sort of bigger voices involved with Villa, I can't imagine anybody was going to consider that his job was at risk. I think that it was a slow start for Villa. Such a proven track record. Trophies elsewhere, of course, Unai Emery. And now his side are on the attack with a lovely long ball here from the halfway line here for Tielemans. I'm not really sure what Watkins was waiting for there. It seemed to me like he had all day to keep that in play, and he waited until it was right on the line and then couldn't keep it in play.
Yeah, that's really poor from Ollie Watkins. As you said, he's drifted out wide, so he's got to turn around with the ball and find someone else in the box.
เพื่อนอย่าลืมนะฝากไลค์กดแชร์ฝากกดติดตามให้ด้วยนะครับเพื่อนๆพี่ครับเราลุ้นประตูอยู่อ่ะจบไปชมรถดิ
kind of a security issue or potentially a medical emergency, but whatever it is, hopefully it's nothing too serious, and as soon as that game resumes we'll let you know. But in the championship in the other two games there's already been 2 goals at Derby, where it's Derby 0 Leicester City 2. It's also Watford 0 Norwich 1. Norwich need those points. They've been falling like a stone since the start of the season. Here come Villa now, just trying to hold off Arsenal as the Gunners in possession here with Declan Rice, Odegaard to Mikel Merino. Just a little bit deeper. Villa playing about 10-12 yards away from the edge of their own penalty area with the offside. Not too high a line.
เอาเพื่อนใจเย็นใจเย็นใจเย็นนะครับยังเสมอกันอยู่นะพวกเรา
I think he was hoping he was going to get a long ball. Didn't seem like anybody was tracking him until Ponzo did, and by then it was too late. Arsenal starting again now in front of their own penalty area. Here is Odegaard. Casually strolling, I'd say, up towards the halfway line. No real obstructions.
อย่าลืมนั้นเพื่อนเข้ามาแล้วฝากกดไลค์แชร์ฝากติดตามให้ด้วยอาร์เซนอลก็20 นาทีผ่านไปนะครับก็ยังเสมอกันอยู่0-0เหมือนเดิมนะเดี๋ยวรอลุ้นนะพวกเราเอาไว้ไปทิมเบอร์อินคาปิเย่เปิดเข้าไปไป
into the 6-yard box. There is Eze. The flag then goes up. So at least it means that we will be able to check it before we can confirm that it's definitely
ไปแล้ว
offside. But certainly
เอาคาราฟิโอลี่ไปแล้ว
a reaction from Arsenal, so they will probably
คา
know
รา
that
เอเซ่เอา
yes, he is offside. Not by much, but he's enough. Torres is still ahead of him.
โอ้ยยังไงวะเอเซ่
It's a really good play from Arsenal as they're trying to build it up, but Aston Villa have done just as well to stand up and catch Bukayo Saka's run in behind offside, and it's just good play from both teams really. Arsenal unfortunate that they played the ball a little too late, and Aston Villa did well to stand up.
ยิงเรียบร้อย
Now from the goalkeeper. So in the end, there wasn't. There was a VAR delay for that last one. It was just so obvious that there was.
โหเอเซ่ยิงเข้าไปแล้วอ่ะไม่ได้เหรอ
Guys back at Stockley Park as now we see Ben White is down on the ground.
โอ้โหซาก้าล้ำซาก้าล้ำซาก้าล้ำเพื่อนๆจังหวะซาก้าล้ำ
Yeah, Ben White, he's gone down to ground and he's been shoulder checked in from replay it seems anyway, but when he's down on the ground his feet have gone up into the air because he's fat.
ไม่เป็นไร
They've stayed in the air, tangled in Rodgers' feet, so I can understand the frustration.
งั้นผมแมวน้ำกินหน่อยเพื่อนแป๊บ
Taking it short in the end, rolling it back, and so far Arsenal, I would say they probably looked a little bit more dangerous going forward in terms of open play. Villa have had a couple of counter-attacking opportunities. Gunners have had the ball in the net as well, and they have actually forced Martinez into a few saves. But they're going to try again here now through the middle with Zubamendi. Just plays that ball back towards Hincapi. So we're over the halfway mark now. 23 minutes gone at Villa Park. It's goalless between Aston Villa and Arsenal. It will be Dale to take us through to half-time.
And it's Arsenal on the ball, just crossed over the halfway line as Odegaard shifts his way out towards the left. Finds Zubamendi back towards Odegaard as Aston Villa happy to let Arsenal play with the ball in front of them for now. Saka picks it up on the right hand side, does well to try and get past Rodgers, but Rodgers done even better to not only win the ball but find Ollie Watkins as well. He's done well to shift between Timber and Saka. No foul given against Bukayo Saka for holding them back. There is Odegaard played up in towards Saka. Watkins looking to return the favour, but instead doesn't win the ball. Watkins runs into traffic as Rodgers shifts to his right, goes to ground. No foul, says the referee. Odegaard, Calafiori, Declan Rice, crossing from right to left with the ball as he's looking for his options. As Zubamendi, he finds Timber into Odegaard. That's a lovely pass if Saka can get there. He can't. It's really good defensive work in the end from Matson. But the pass is the right idea from Odegaard. Just a cheeky pass along the ground, one that maybe only he and Saka would have seen. Of course, Matson gets on the end of it, but it's the right idea to try and catch this Aston Villa defence out.
It absolutely is, because this Villa defence are good, so it's not going to be just a straightforward cross, just a straightforward diagonal ball is going to be too easy for them. So there needs to be a little bit more invention, needs to be a little bit more intricate. And on that occasion, Arsenal trying to go diagonal when it's just gone straight through to Matson.
Matson carrying it forward as he tries to blaze past Odegaard. He does really well in the end, the Dutch fullback, as he comes in towards Timber. They clash shoulder to shoulder, but Dutchman v Dutchman, and Matson kind of just bodies him.
He does, and that's why the other Dutchman, Timber's not too happy. He got up and straight away ran towards the referee. If I was a cheeky referee, if I was the referee, I'd say to him, well, maybe you should have come up with that sort of force when when Matson was running at you, because certainly Timber leapt up to his feet to have a go at the referee, but actually Matson just in full flight was able to bundle him out of the way. It's going to be in swing and out from Matt Cash.
Cash to put the corner in. Raya bounces on the spot, just looking around, making sure he's safe as the Villa men do come in to challenge. As the ball comes in, cleared away easily by Declan Rice, but just on that point, that's 2 times now Jurriën Timber's been shoulder checked off of the ball. Of course, the chance for Watkins was very similar. Sante picks up the ball and then
เป็นไงบ้างเพื่อนๆยังเสมอกันอยู่เหรอ25ที่กันไปก็ยังเสมอกันอยู่นะ
I mean, that's the thing. I'm not really sure. I suppose Conte's argument would be that holding on to a grown adult like that for 2 seconds isn't enough to bring him to the ground. And of course, if it was on a street or on a bus or something, it wouldn't be. But on a football pitch, when you're trying to show the referee that there's been contact, that is going to be enough. And let's face it, I think if Konza was trying to hold on to the ball and an opposition player was doing that to him, he'd do the same thing. But over the years, we've seen that big defenders, even big goalkeepers, have learned how to show the referee, oh, I've been fouled, just to make sure they get this.
Yes. Timber leads it up towards the right-hand side. Bukayo Saka. There's about 1 or 2 quick passes for Arsenal, but they're really playing high-tempo football. Just waiting for their opportunities to play the couple quick passes, and maybe they can get in behind off the back of that. Zeze, he's forced to turn around, finds him Mendy just on the halfway line, up to the right-hand side, and you can see the average positions for the Arsenal players, and they're all around the halfway line, which is quite interesting. Bukayo Saka, the only player who's
He is, and Hincapié clearly been told to stay the furthest back.
ใช้หูไร้สายเหรอ
Inside his own
มัน
half,
ไม่ไหว
everybody
วะ
else
สายมันยาวเกิน
halfway or just
เพื่อน
creeping over it. Arsenal again trying down the right-hand side, and now with Timber into Saka.
Saka trying to find Odegaard, but the pass was under hit. Kamara comes away with it, finds Tielemans. Kamara again, now up the left-hand side, coming forward. Aston Villa, ball in towards the box, it spills out towards Matty Cash, he'll take the shot, and that's a good block from Declan Rice, getting his body across, and just turning away, getting the block in. We've seen Matty Cash hit them, take those shots and score from those positions before, so he had to get in front and make the block.
He did, no offside on this occasion for Villa, moving the ball forward down the left-hand side. With this ball just glanced away by Hincapié, it is a very good block there from Rice, getting his body in the way, actually using his back there to stop that ball heading towards goal.
He does well to keep his arms down by his side as well. The amount of times we've seen players turn away from the ball and the ball's accidentally collided with their arm.
โอ้โหติดไลท์โอ้โหไลท์กูเจ็บเลย
Take this corner from the right-hand side. Left foot, so it will be in swinging. Odegaard and Timber look to get it away. Ball in towards the box. Raya jumps up to palm it away. Doesn't deal with it well. And the referee, he's given a free kick against Aston Villa. Raya, I don't think there was too much contact on the goalkeeper there. He's jumped up, trying to claim the ball. In the end, just fell backwards onto it. Maybe there's an arm or two from Morgan Rogers, but certainly is being bullied in the area. But when he goes up for it, it's all too much.
No, it's almost like Rogers stood where he was, creates a bit of a block for Raya, even though Rogers doesn't know anything about it because it goes back to him.
ครับแอสวิลล่าครับเปิดเตะมุม
Situations, there is still a little bit of leeway that goalkeepers
เปิ
get.
ดเข้าไปปาดก่อนลายาโอเคลายาได้ฟาวล์
Got a bit better than that since then, in being able to make a decision one way or the other. But on that occasion, I think that it was just an assumption that there was some obstruction. When really, as you said, looking at that replay, there's not really anything that any Villa player's done wrong there.
Arsenal playing it out from the back really well. In towards Calafiori now. That's a lovely challenge from man in the middle there, Anana. It looked like a lovely challenge. He's waving his arms away, saying that's not a free kick.
I think he's saying it's all over, isn't it, with his hands? Saying, well, what have I done wrong? And really, you could argue that he's got the ball, then he slid the ball away, having first made contact with it, and then the Arsenal man gets clipped. I mean, I do feel for Anana on that occasion, I must admit.
How the generations of football have changed. I think the likes of John Terry and Ferdinand, they call that a great challenge, but it's modern day football. He has come in from the side, took out his man. The intent these days is played along
จาน
Hincapi. Declan Rice inside his own
สัตว์เสียงขนาดนี้ไม่ฟาวล์ไม่รู้ไป
30th minute, still Aston Villa 0, Arsenal 0. Back to Rice. Plays it up the left hand side. Eze. He's dropped deep to pick it up. Shifts inside. Does well to get past McGinn. And then passes it straight to Yuri Tillman. So, curious decision from Richie Eze. Declan Rice recovers the ball for Arsenal. Finds Zubimendi. This time they go up the right hand side with Odegaard. Timber. Back to Zubimendi. Back to Odegaard again. Trying to draw out a little bit of an Aston Villa press, I think. As Arsenal just playing the ball around, playing keep away essentially with the Aston Villa players. Yuri Tielemans, he's gone in shoulder to shoulder with Calafiori. He's given away a foul for that fact. Calafiori's gone to
เฮ้ยเอเซ่ไอชิบหาย
there. McGinn also went in on the challenge, and then Yuri Tielemans got
ใจเย็นนะเอเซ่
Mara was about to be.
He was being triple teamed there for Calafiori, but in essence, I mean, there wasn't any really attempt to play the ball there from Tielemans, so I can see why the referee gave that decision.
It's a free kick inside Arsenal's half, almost in line with the centre circle, just left of the centre of the pitch as it's taken quickly towards Zubimendi. He'll play a switch ball looking for Richie Eze on the left-hand side. That's headed away by Polish international Matthew Cash.
คาราฟิโอรี่กู
For his options in white. Not really too much movement from an Arsenal perspective. Looking to build it up slowly, but there needs to be an injection of pace as Marino tries a back pass, thinking that Declan Rice would run in behind. And Declan Rice, he was flat-footed.
He was, yeah, and you can see Mikel Arteta's just getting a little bit more getting into some thought there, just getting one of his assistants up on his feet. There was a spell in this game where it seemed fairly even, and now it's sadly sort of developing into that kind of stalemate. I think both of us were worried
เอา
about
เว้ยเอาเว้ยเอาหน่อยเว้ยอาร์เซนอลเว้ย
defensive sides on form, cancelling each other out, and even though the goal threat from both these teams is very apparent, they are just sort of rubbing up against each other in midfield right now. So it's going to take a little bit of quality as a long ball goes out towards Watkins.
Speaking of quality, that ball out towards Watkins is just that as he tries to cut inside, shift on his left, on his right foot, takes the shot, deflected away by Timber.
Needed to be quicker there. He's either going to get to it quicker and shoot, but once he's taken that long to get to it, I think there were better options to play it square. In the end, the ball is cleared, and then Arsenal, from the resulting throw, Arsenal cleared their lines as well.
Marino trying to break away from Paul Torres, goes to the ground holding his face. Referee tells him to get back up to his feet. Marino obliges, no longer in pain, as it's played in towards McGinn.
Okay,
Pass
maybe
from
like-
McGinn in the end, unable to find Matson. Instead finds Bukayo Saka. As Arsenal decide to switch the play and go up the left-hand side with Eze.
ชิบหายแล้วไงทิมเบอร์บังไว้ดีๆนะสวยทิมเบอร์
He has properties so that he can play there, but going to be a little bit more on the inside track and a little bit deeper than the likes of Bukayo Saka or Gabriel Martinelli's, as it's played up the right-hand side, headed away by Aston Villa. Arsenal pick up the second ball.
4 ทุ่มมีไข่หมดเนี่ย
On the right, across the byline there. And a bit difficult for Arsenal trying to build it up now as they put the ball into cleared away. Foul has been given away.
4 ทุ่มไรคู่ไหนเดี๋ยวบอลเพื่อน
Yeah, I mean, the initial ball on the right hand side, it just slowed things down a little bit after that throw, but they still managed
ดู
to
ซิ
get
ตี้
the
กับ
ball
ซันเดอร์แลน
in
ด์
the
ก็ได้
area. We'll see here as this ball comes in. Eze's really trying to get ahead of Pau Torres, but Torres showing his experience there. However good Eze, a forward player, might be, heading the ball in the box isn't really his first love, and Pau Torres, I would expect him to be able to get into a better position there, and he was strong enough to do that.
It'll be a free kick for Martinez to take as he goes long up the right-hand side looking for McGinn, but Calafiore 9 times out of 10 win that battle.
คาราเอ้าอื้อหือ
Ball back for
โอ้โหเอเซ่ฟาว
finds Concert. Back towards McGinn. And now it's Sealemans as he plays it in towards Rogers, getting closer to the byline now into the penalty area. Rogers step over into the box, lays it off for Tielemans again. Ball into the penalty area on the back post. Kamara lays it off for Cash. Looked like he wanted to shoot, but realised he didn't have that option, so forced to play it back by the Arsenal defence. Pau Torres now 25 yards away from goal. Finds Rogers towards Onana. Torres again, ball into the box, chipped away once more to Cash, who shoots and scores, puts it between the legs of David Raya, and the first blood goes to Matty Cash and Aston Villa.
Fantastic. Well, he's a goal-scoring defender, Matt Cash. There's his traditional golf swing celebration. And it all comes from this one Aston Villa move, where there's just a little bit too much space for Cash on that right-hand side. Arsenal will be frustrated, and Declan Rice's expression there says it all. He's very frustrated. Peter Banks just getting things back in order. But we'll see again as this move starts here for Aston Villa. Cash with a big smile on his face. And we can see from the way this move begins, it's a long way out here with Pau Torres on the left-hand side.
ชิบหายแล้วมั้ย
Into the area.
เอ้ยยิงเรียบร้อยเลย
Rogers then plays it back to Onana. No options here for a cross initially. Then Pau Torres does put a cross in. Is Cash offside there? He might be, he might not. But then once he gets it, it's a fabulous finish here from Villa's number 2. It's a really
โอ้โห เรียบร้อยเลย
to sort of dive into it to really get his foot across it. The technique is superb. And say, Ryan being nutmegged at his near post, he won't be delighted about that, but it happens in such a blink of an eye. I'm always prepared to forgive that.
Yeah, the power on the shot from Matty Cash is extraordinary. That's what he uses so often. Low, powerful shot. It's the far corner this time. With the legs of the goalkeeper. And I will say, just a bit of criticism for Timber, who did get his head to the ball, but could only flick it on in towards Matty Cash.
เรียบร้อยเลยเพื่อน 1-0
Gabriel or Saliba there, they probably deal with that a little bit easier, simply for their height, if nothing else.
No, absolutely.
รอดด่าเข้าไปเลยบอลมันแรง
His notebook out straight away to make some points to his team at half time. I mean, it's not a good goal for Arsenal to concede in the sense that really, I mean, the defending wasn't particularly good for it, and now Watkins getting into a bit of a pushing match there with Timber before the ball eventually going out for a throw to Arsenal. But yeah, it could just get a bit more feisty this game. Arsenal were very frustrated at conceding that one.
Arsenal, certainly. I mean, from the neutral perspective, it means that Arsenal have to come forward. They're going to have to turn things around, be a little bit more aggressive in winning the ball back, but also in the way they move the ball going forward. So it is certainly going to open the game up as Aston Villa, they're not going to want to sit on the 1-0 lead either, because they know how devastating Arsenal can be if you allow them to just sit and play in front of you. As Emi Martinez claims that cross into the box, tries to play it up the right-hand side, finds Watkins. Then once more to McGinn. Tries to play a ball out to the left-hand side for Matson, but couldn't quite find him. And Arsenal come away with the ball. Played up the left for Saka. Poor touch from him is collected by Onana. Rolls forward in the midfield. Morgan Rogers up against
เรียบร้อยเลยอาร์เซนอลโดนนำแล้วเหลือทุกอะไรวะ ใช่ดิพี่โดนนำแล้ว 1-0 โดนมาที่แคสเจอซัมวิลล่าไม่เคยงานง่ายเลยดูส่งแล้วเจอซัมวิลล่าไม่ง่ายไม่เคยง่ายเลย
moment or two ago, and they couldn't really get one dangerous ball into the box where Villa have been more direct, one opportunity to cross it, it's out for a corner, and now they have a set piece.
It's a right-footed cross from the left-hand side. Of course, Onana, Kamara, and Watkins all be target in the box. Paltares is in the 6-yard penalty area that is aimed for the near post and then headed away by Arsenal. Will collect.
สวัสดีครับน้องพัทสวัสดีครับเซ็งจัดโดน1-0ซะแล้ว
For an option finds Kamara. They pass more so than leaving the ball where it was. Kamara comes towards it as he then plays it back to Martinez, who will play the long ball up the left-hand side. Morgan Rogers to chase it in behind, but it's maybe slightly overhit.
ใครยิงแมตตี้แคทยิง
This time. Tried to collect, but couldn't do so as rolls over the byline and out for a goal kick. Catches third goal of the season. Joint second top goal scorer for Aston Villa. As Timber, he'll carry it forward to the right-hand side. Declan Rice is quite deep to help his team out. Finds Hincapie.
เอาไว้เพื่อนปืนยังสู้
Ben White. Back to Timber again. Back to Hincapie. Carry it forward on the left, but he's pressed down by Morgan Rogers. He celebrates that almost as if he scored a goal.
ยังสู้ได้
The pressure that he's put on. Again, the aggressive nature of which he's done so. He's looking to rile up the Aston Villa fans, of course. They know if they're going to get a big result against Arsenal the way they want to in this game, and the way it's lining up to be, they certainly need the amping up from the crowd too.
Oh no, they certainly will, and I'm going to say, you know my thoughts on this, Dad. I'm not necessarily a fan of players geeing up the crowd when they clear the ball out for a throw-on, but listen, if it gets the fans on your side even more and gives you more of an edge against the top Arsenal side, then there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. And Villa, they're ending this half very strongly. They've still got 3.5 minutes before we hit injury time, though, so they can't sit back just yet. Because if Arsenal were to get an equaliser now, I think that Emery will be disappointed. I think his side feel like they should be winning at half-time.
Bukayo Saka up the right-hand side, looking to put a ball into the box, driving in towards the byline, finds the penalty area, pulls it back, and a shot comes in.
เอาหน่อยเว้ยอาร์เซนอลเว้ย
Actually from Ben White.
ครับคาราฟิโอลี่
Save, I think, for Emi
Well,
Martinez.
it should have been an easy save. He makes it look a little bit less than routine, though, because of the way the Stabula is spilled out when it really was straight at him. And I mean, in fairness, he dives on the rebound almost immediately. There was never any danger of another rebound there for an Arsenal player, but certainly a bit risky. As Raya there takes a big risk as well, playing out from back almost.
อย่างน้อยต้องเสมอก่อนละ
Back on the halfway line.
ไม่งั้นครึ่งหลังเหนื่อยแล้ว
This is ideal because now Arsenal are going to have to take a few more risks and have to be a little bit more attack-minded. So it's just how they can do that and how Villa respond to that.
Certainly will be a back and forth affair now. Arsenal having to come forward.
อืม
Certainly want to
ไม่งั้นขึ้นหลังเหนื่อยแน่
losing momentum as they
ๆ
play it up the right-hand
โอ้โห
side.
ยิง
Finds
มา
Bukayo Saka.
เป็นไว้กูยิงซะเบา
Backwards towards Odegaard. Again, a slow build-up from Arsenal.
ไปทิมเบอร์ไป
For
เอาเว้ยมีโอกาสแล้วเราซาก้า
risks soon. Calafiori played inside to Marino. Finds Eze for a ball into the box. Instead lays it backwards towards Declan Rice. Ball in towards the back post and Matson winning the header.
นัดที่แล้ว3ชนะเป็นฟอร์ดมา 2-0 นัดนี้เอาหน่อยเว้ย
Himself, but Arsenal get the ball back.
Crucial.
ไม่แพ้นะไม่แพ้นะ
Where he was, just getting in the way of Bukayo Saka, who again isn't the Arsenal's best header of the ball by any stretch, but from that distance you'd expect him to be able to test the keeper. Arsenal come back again though.
Fine. Saka into White. White goes down. No foul, says the referee. Aston Villa coming forward. Paul Torres. He loses the ball. Declan Rice now with a chance on the edge of the penalty area. Takes the shot, but it's a really tame effort in the end, especially one you wouldn't expect from Declan Rice. You always expect him
เอ
to
เซ่
just put his
เอา
foot through
เด็ก
the
ขาย
ball.
ไลท์เปิดเข้าไปมงโอ้โหเฮียไม่ได้
Placement, no power.
No, I mean even the backswing and his body
okay.
position doesn't suggest he was trying to hit it hard. I thought maybe he just miscued it slightly, but it looks like he was going for the placement there. It's just not worked out for him. He needs to put more power on that as Arsenal now backtracking it with McGinn, picking out Rodgers.
Lovely passing from the Scotsman to find Rodgers.
ตัวสำรองเราก็โอเคอยู่
Dispossession on the left-hand side, and then match that pass to find.
สวยไปสวยเด็กขายไลท์ไปเด็กขายไลท์ยิงเบาอีกโอ้ย
Matson.
โอ้โหไลท์
Takedown type of challenge there, where went to ground initially, didn't actually get Bukayo Saka to go down, so he's kind of pulled on his man even further. Eze now up on the left-hand side, plays it in towards Calafiori.
มาอีกแล้วอาซาวิล่าเปิดเข้าไปไหวทันเบ้ามาโอเคได้อยู่ไปสวยซาก้าไปซาก้าโอ้โหช้าหวย
Declan Rice crossed over the 45th minute now. Still Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 0, and Arsenal with only 45 seconds left to get back into this game. Added time.
That's pretty much just for the goal, isn't it? I suppose you could argue probably could have another minute or two for a couple of stoppages, breaks of play, but it's been the game has flowed well in this first half. Just to say that the game between Charlton
สวยแล้วไงชิปหายแล้วไง
emergency in the crowd. There's so hoping that nothing too serious. It's Derby 0, Leicester 3, and it's now Watford
มาแล้ว
2.
ไมกิน
Half-time in the championship.
เปิดโอ้โหโอเคไม่ไปก็เวลานาทีเดียวอ่ะเพื่อนอาร์เซนอลเราโดนบุกจบแล้วเพื่อน
in the penalty area, lays it off, and Tielemans just can't hook it in anywhere really. He's just put his foot on the ball, trying to direct it somewhere, and that was the last action of the half. So chances come from both sides. I think Aston Villa had the better of the two chances before the goal, and then it was Martin Cash who fired in from close range between David Raya's legs. As we go into half time, Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 0.
มึงจะโยกไปไหนมึงโยกเข้าประตูเลยไหมไอ้เวนเนาะไอ้ส้นตีนแม่งจะโยกเข้าประตูซะแล้ว
Half-time at Villa Park, where it's Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 0, and Villa taking the lead through Matt Cash, and that's
เพื่อนจบแล้วครึ่งแรกนะครับจบแล้วครึ่งแรกครับเดี๋ยวรอลุ้นครึ่งหลังกันต่อว่าครึ่งหลังจะเกิดอะไรขึ้นนะครับนี่เราจบแล้วครึ่งแรกอาร์เซนอลนะครับโดนนำ 1-0 นะก็นาทีที่36นะครับจากแมตตี้แคสนะครับเพื่อนยิงให้เซวิลล่านำนะครับจบครึ่งแรกนะอาร์เซนอลตามไปเซวิลล่าอยู่0-1นะครับเดี๋ยวดูครึ่งหลังนะครับว่าจะแก้เกมอย่างไรนะสำหรับอาร์เซนอลนะครับตัวเนี่ยครับตัวสำรองนะที่เอามาเปลี่ยนเกมได้เนี่ยครับก็มีทั้งลูอิสเคลลี่นอร์กาดอีธานนาวาเดลี่นะครับกาเบรียลบาเตลี่ทอสซามาดูเอเก้แล้วก็วิกเตอร์โยเคเดนะสำหรับอาร์เซนอลยังมีตัวลุกโหหลายคนเพื่อน 4-5 คนนะครับที่สามารถลงมาเปลี่ยนเกมได้ทั้งนั้นเลยเพื่อนเดี๋ยวดูว่าครึ่งหลังเราจะแก้เกมยังไงนะสำหรับอาร์เซนอลนี่ครับเพื่อนเดี๋ยวรอลุ้นกันว่าเราจะมาเปลี่ยนเกมกันยังไงนะสำหรับครึ่งแรกอาร์เซนอลก็ยังไม่ค่อยไอ้นี่เท่าไหร่เพื่อนดูครึ่งหลังนะเพื่อนว่าใคร ว่าอาร์เซนอลจะแก้เกมยังไงนะนี่เหรอมันคือแท็บโชว์เดสก์ท็อปอะเนี่ยคลิกขวามันจะขึ้นตรงเนี้ยโชว์เดสก์ท็อปอะตัวเองมันเนี่ยเดี๋ยวรอครึ่งหลังนะครับเพื่อนๆว่าครึ่งหลังจะแก้เกมอย่างไรนะเพื่อนๆเดี๋ยวเรารอครึ่งหลังแป๊บนึงก็พูดยากนะอาร์เซนอลเราได้ไหมครับพี่ครับ เดี๋ยวรอสักแป๊บนะครับเพื่อนๆรอช่วงพักครึ่งก่อน
probably looked like the better side in terms of their attacking intent. A couple of efforts at Emi Martinez's goal, which were pretty much straight down the middle. Not too many issues for the Villa keeper in terms of making saves. Then Villa started to have a bit more of an attacking spell themselves. Watkins broke through after a long ball from Tielemans. His effort was straight at Raya, but then Villa did finally break the deadlock with the ball coming in from the left-hand side, deflected into the path of Cash, who slammed it past Raya and into the back of the net. Villa lead 1-0. Half-time at Villa Park, where it's Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 0, and after a 15-20 minute spell where Arsenal probably looked like the better side in terms of their attacking intent. A couple of efforts at Emi Martinez's goal, which were pretty much straight down the middle. Not too many issues for the Villa keeper in terms of making saves. Then Villa started to have a bit more of an attacking spell themselves. Watkins broke through after a long ball from Tielemans. His effort was straight at Raya, but then Villa did finally break the deadlock with the ball coming in from the left-hand side, deflected into the path of Cash, who slammed it past Raya and into the back of the net. Villa lead 1-0. Half-time at Villa Park, where it's Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 0, and after a 15-20 minute spell where Arsenal probably looked like the better side in terms of their attacking intent, had a couple of efforts at Emi Martinez's goal, which were pretty much straight down the middle. Not too many issues for the Villa keeper in terms of making saves. Then Villa started to have a bit more of an attacking spell.
เพื่อนเดี๋ยวรอครึ่งหลังแป๊บนึง
After a long ball from
เซ็ง
Tielemans,
จัด
his
เล
effort was
ย
straight at Raya, but then Villa did finally break the deadlock with the ball coming in from the left-hand side, deflected into the path of Cash, who slammed it past Raya and into the back of the net. Villa lead 1-0. Half-time at Villa Park, where it's Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 0, and after a 15-20 minute spell where Arsenal probably looked like the better side in terms of their attacking intent, had a couple of efforts at Emi Martinez's goal, which were pretty much straight down the middle. Not too many issues for the Villa keeper in terms of making saves. Then Villa started
โยเคเลสว่ะ
spell themselves. Watkins broke through after a long ball from Tielemans. His effort was straight at Raya, but then Villa did finally break the deadlock with the ball coming in from the left-hand side, deflected into the path of Cash, who slammed it past Raya and into the back of the net. Villa lead 1-0. Half-time at Villa Park, where it's Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 0, and after a 15-20 minute spell where Arsenal probably looked like the better side in terms of their attacking intent, had a couple of efforts at Emi Martinez's goal, which were pretty much straight down the middle. Not too many issues for the Villa keeper in terms of making saves. Then Villa started to have a bit more of an attacking spell themselves. Watkins broke through after a long ball from Tielemans. His effort was straight at Raya, but then Villa did finally break the deadlock with the ball coming in from the left-hand side, deflected into the path of Cash, who slammed it past Raya and into the back
ตัวเอง
of
ดู
the
นี่
net.
ดิตัวเอง
Half-time at Villa Park,
ดูดิ
where it's
มี
Aston Villa 1,
มีคนโหวตตั้ง
Arsenal 0, and after a 15-20 minute
726
spell where Arsenal probably looked like the better side in terms of their
เขา
attacking
โพสต์
intent,
อะ
had a couple
ค
of
นกด
efforts
ไล
at
ค์เป็น
Emi
ร้อย
Martinez's goal, which were pretty much straight
แต่
down
คน
the
ดู
middle.
3 คน
Not too many issues for the Villa keeper
คนดู
in terms of
2 ค
making
น
saves.
ไม่มีคนดูแต่โพสต์แบบไม่โดนปิดกั้นเนาะดูรู้เลย อันเนี้ยโดนปิดกั้น
เราจะมีโพสต์ที่ไหน
ฮะ
โพสต์ที่ไหน
โพสต์ในเพจช่องเขาไงเนี่ยไม่โดนปิดกั้นดูคนกดไลค์ตอนเจอแล้ว
เขาไม่ได้อยู่ในเพจ
เพจหน้าช่องไหนมันโพสต์ได้ มันโพสต์ทั้งวิดีโอ YouTube YouTube ป่ะเพื่อนครึ่งหลังมาแล้ว เพื่อนโยเคเลสมาว่ะตัวเองเซเลตเขาเยอะป่ะเขาไอ้วันเดียวเซเลตเต็มมันเอามิเกลโมเรโนออกนะเพื่อนโยเคเลสลงเขาซาด้วยเหรอเพื่อนเหมือนเอาเอเซ่ออกด้วยอ่ะเอาไว้ครึ่งหลังมาแล้วเพื่อนเอเซ่กับทอซาออกนะเพื่อน
does put across into the box. It's Martinez diving out for it just at the same time as Konza goes for it. It's Konza's head that then knocks it out for a corner. So they'll straight away from the start of this second half.
กับเบลเจสุดไม่มีชื่อวะเนี่ยเบลเจสุดไปไหนวะไปเว้ยลุยต่อเว้ยเพื่อนอาร์เซนอลเราคาราฟิโอลี่ โอดิการ์ด
in case. Looks like Saka's going to
ซากะ
this one in himself. He is. It's a flat ball into the 6-yard box. It's
เปิดเข้าไปโอเค
back to Saka.
เตะมุมเว้ย
Saka holds it up here for Odegaard. Left-footed ball from the right-hand side. In swing into the box as Onana just gets in his goalkeeper's way, and that drops to Gyökeres, who then goes for goal. But his strike is pretty much down the middle. It's been a theme for Arsenal this afternoon. They've just not had their shooting boots on so far.
No, they've not. And this shot from Gyökeres, you can give him a little bit of leeway. It's at that awkward middle height if he's trying to hit it on the 180-degree turn. So it's a difficult shot to pull off. Still not enough to get it on target.
Certainly will, and Arsenal now trying to get back in the front of the
เอาไว้เปิดลูกเตะมุมไป
Gyökeres breaking into the box, holds it up here, back in towards Trossard. Gyökeres gets it again. Bundled his way through 3 of the players in the end, just ran out of room in the end. The ball is cleared back towards half an hour. Pedro Hincapi then holds the ball up for Arsenal. We were saying in the break, though, Dale, that this is where Villa have to really manage the game correctly, because naturally they're 1-0 up against the league leader, so they're not going to charge forward to try and win 3 or 4-0. But at the same time, if they sit back, you're just going to encourage Arsenal to
อ๋อเอาดีๆหน่อยนั่นแหละครับพี่
Trying to figure out what approach they want to take.
ก็อยากเอาดีๆอยู่เหมือนกันแต่มันยิงไม่ได้ฝากกดไลค์นะครับเข้ามาแล้วฝากกดไลค์ก็แชร์ฝากกดติดตามนะครับก็ผมเปลี่ยนแนวเป็นแนวตั้งบ้างนะเบื่อแนวนอนมาไลค์เป็นแนวตั้งอาจจะแปลกๆนะ
Just a little bit of housekeeping in terms of the championship, just to confirm that game between Charlton and Portsmouth has now been abandoned. It was over 40 minutes after play was stopped before they finally announced that. I think it was just going to be too long. Thankfully, the medical emergency has been dealt with. The fan who was unwell has now been taken to hospital, but it just took too long with everything else for play to resume. So they'll have to come back on another day. In the other 2 games of the championship, it's Derby 0, Leicester City 3, and there was a lot of added time in the game at Vicarage Road, so it's now Watford 1, Norwich 2, but that's still at half-time. Back to Villa Park now as Arsenal push down the right-hand side with Saka. There was an overlap from Ben White. Saka tries to get the ball himself. Timber was up supporting as well. That's just the sign of how attack-minded Arsenal are, that they have pretty much all of their team pushing forward apart from Hincapi. But it's now down the right-hand side again after Villa cleared their lines. It's with Saka. Cuts it onto his left foot.
ก็ทำงานเสร็จแล้วเหรอ
Hit by Morgan Rogers. They're probably fouled in the end by Morgan Rogers. Referee waited a moment there, Peter Banks, before deciding there is no advantage. That's the free kick now taken quickly.
เปล่าจะถามเฉยเขาเห็นตัวเองส่งมาให้เขาไง
Odegaard then curling one out towards the left-hand side for
ฮะ
Trossard, who goes for goal. It's missing the
ไม่
back
ใช่ไม่ใช่
post.
ส่งมา
But
คนอื่น
all the Villa players had their arms up in the box. So I think they were confident that the Belgian international might have been offside anyway. Seen from this replay, I'm not sure that he was actually. So if that had gone in, it probably would have counted.
Yeah, no. Trossard there, he kept his line in line with the defender really, really well. As soon as
โอ
the
เค
defense stepped up, he stepped up.
เอาเว้ยเซนอนเอาหน่อยโอ้โห
Second half possession. I mean, in fairness, it is only 6.5 minutes. It's not a really.
เอาถอดสายยิงไอ้เหี้ยไม่ได้โอ้ย
Second half, so they really are.
โอ้โหถอดตา
Authority now in terms of keeping the ball, really stifling up to Villa. But that has its
โอ้โหไม่ล้ำด้วย
They have got a couple of very pacey players, not more so than their front man Ollie Watkins. I think he's available on the counter attack. That's where Arsenal
เนี่ยถอดซามแล้วอย่างนี้สิวะ
in trouble. But they're in possession in now. Hincapi, long ball down the left-hand side, headed on here by Calafiori. It won't get through to Trossard though. It's not cleared by Matt Cash. Here is McGinn now starting a move here for Villa. Being well blocked though by Calafiori. Goes back to Kamara. Square now to Onana. He has a runner down the left-hand side in Maatsen. I thought he asked too much of Ian Maatsen, but he still gets there ahead of Ben White. Maatsen then holds it up. He gets that ball away from Saka. He can't continue the move for Villa. Has to go back towards the halfway line now for Pau Torres. And Torres looking up for options left and right. This one out towards the right-hand side here for Matt Cash. Cash holding it
เอาเว้ย
up.
เอาหน่อยเว้ย
Back here
อาร์เซนอลขอให้เสมอมาไว้ก็ได้
Square for Pau Torres.
ไป
Torres in towards Rogers. Rogers finding Onana, just oversteps that slightly, and that leaves it here for
แมตตี้แคทไปแล้วใจเย็นไอ้หนุ่มสวยอาราฟิลิทำมาละโอนาน่าเป็นไว้เอ้ย
who happen to be on that same end where Arsenal are attacking in the second half. But it's back to business here for Arsenal. They wanted an early equaliser, they've got one.
Yeah, Trossard in good form, gets his 4th goal of the season. And in the end, it's an easy finish for him. It's really poor defensively, I think, from Aston Villa. The same pass that Odegaard plays to Saka in the first half, which they defended so well. They've just let him play that pass this time around. And ball across the box. It was very similar to the goal that they conceded.
เอาละครับไม่ฟาวไปแล้วโอเดการ์ดเอายิงทอซาวู้ฮู้1-1แล้ววู้ฮู้เอาละครับเพื่อนๆ1-1ตีเสมอแล้วเว้ย1-1เว้ยวู้ฮู้วู้ฮู้มาดิครับ1-1แล้วเว้ย
Go through the substitute in just a moment just to see what other options there are for Arsenal and indeed what options there are. Full stop for Villa. They've not made any changes yet, but now it's the Gunners pushing forward down the right here with Saka. Leaves it for Odegaard just at the edge of the D. There's a runner here on the left in the form of Trossard. Arsenal's goal scorer now.
ทอซาอีกแล้ว
Puts it on his left foot and then fires the ball, which is overhit. It's a shame because there were a line of 4 Arsenal players there. Picked them out, but he's overhit the cross.
Yeah, it's a poor cross.
1-1แล้ว
Position where shouldn't really be making such
1-1นะครับพี่น้องครับ
being on his weaker foot maybe leads to that, so he's just kind of swung his leg at it as opposed to having the precision, but you'd expect more from Trossard in that position.
You certainly would, and the throw on here to Villa now on the left-hand side. Long throw from Maatsen, cut out before it even reaches the halfway line. Arsenal are still very keen to just maintain this pressure that they've had since the start of the second half. Ben White now wins it back for Arsenal. Gyökeres has a pass back towards, well, I think he was looking for Saka, but in the end his pass was exactly in between Saka and Zubimendi, and Villa have taken the throw on quickly, and now it's Tielemans in towards Watkins. Watkins taking too many touches, taking too long, and in the end there's 3 Arsenal players back there to block him off. But that's the kind of warning that Arsenal perhaps needed just from their point of view, because all it was a throw onto Villa on the halfway line, and suddenly the home side were on the attack.
Yeah, and if Villa can get that goal back, get that lead back, then Arsenal really going to
มีความสุข
full force at them. Of course, later in the game, again, it's almost like Arsenal got the goal and not sat back, but they've given them a chance.
Well, they have, and Villa have taken it now.
โอ้ยไหวไปเว้ย
Maatsen into the 6-yard box. The pass is blocked.
โอ้โหจ่ายพอดีอีหยังเนี่ย
Getting in his way, and I think it's the contact from Yuri and Timber that Peter Banks, our referee, isn't too keen on. We'll see from this replay here. Yeah, I mean, he just tangles there with Rodgers. You could argue that if anything, it's almost Rodgers gripping Timber's foot, but it's Timber's foot that's caused him to fall there.
เอาเว้ยเสมอแล้วครับ1-1แล้วครับ
Stand why he's done that there. The defender, I think he's trying to get involved. Is Timber? He's not had the best of games defensively. He's trying to help his team get back into it, win the ball back quickly, but it's just not the way he goes about it. He's just allowed Morgan Rodgers to let his feet get tangled, essentially.
No, he has, and great chances now for Villa. They'll be very grateful of it because they've had very, very few no opportunities by that one counter-attack from Watkins to do any kind of attack in the second half. But now it's going to be an in-swinging free kick here from Yuri Tielemans, angled towards the back post. It's nodded clear, and it should be kept alive here by Kamara on the right as a sort of beauty against Wolves last weekend. Good enough to be on commentary for that one. Didn't get an opportunity to shoot this time, but the ball is played back into the Villa. There was a chance there for Villa down the right-hand side. It was Cash who'd gone on the overlap. It was actually a really good ball from John McGinn to pick him out. Cash, he was level, but he just waited too long, and the ball still had too much of a bounce on it in the end.
Yeah, just getting the contact all wrong. Was the fallback as he tried to pull it back into the box, but it ended up just blazing over the bar.
Over the bar in the end. Arsenal have restarted play here with this goal kick. 57 minutes on the clock. It is 1-1 to play for here at Villa Park. I mentioned the substitutes for Villa. It is Bogard, Buendia, Dean,
เดคไลน์นี่แม่งเก่งชิบหายนะ
Malin, Sancho, and goalkeeper Bizot. So those are the substitutes for Unai Emery. Arsenal have already made 2 substitutions.
เฮ้ยชิบหายแล้วไงโอ้
But they've still got Lewis Skelly, Madueke, Martinelli, Noweri, young midfielder Salmon, and they've also got Aretha Balaga, Kepa Arrizabalaga, the goalkeeper. So certainly on both benches are strong. But you look at that Arsenal bench. I mean, Madueke, Martinelli, Noweri. These are very dangerous players to bring off the bench. Lewis Skelly, Norgard with his experience. So the Arsenal squad is starting to look very sort of. You can always add to a squad, can't you? But it's looking very balanced.
Yeah, it's looking.
Considering the injuries they have.
Yeah, it's looking very good. Squad depth is the main key there. You know, the issue is obviously in the defenders region, not too many options. They've got Lewis Skelly and Salmon on the bench, but 16-year-old on if you get a centre half injured, isn't it?
No, it's not ideal, but then you see Saliba's out, Gabriel's out, and now following the midweek game, Christian Mosquera is out as well. Long-term injury, of course, attacking player Kai Havertz is out as well. But we are hearing that Gabriel Jesus is playing in a behind closed doors friendly today, this very afternoon against Manchester United. So good news for Arsenal that he's slowly coming back. But now Maatsen pushing forward down the left here for Villa, leaving it for Rodgers. Inside now to Amadou Onana. Konza hit and Cash on the right-hand side. So slow build-up this from Villa. But the main thing for them is, of course, they don't want Arsenal in possession. So if they can do this for as long as possible, just to try and frustrate the Gunners, then I think that they would take that. As the ball now is played back, Onana in towards Rodgers. Rodgers spots McGinn on the right-hand side. He wants to get away from Calafiori, but that's a good challenge there from Calafiori. Second ball is kept alive here for Villa by Matt Cash, being closed down by Trossard. Trossard back towards the halfway line. Options here for Villa to try and get the ball into the box. Just try towards the left-hand side here for Maatsen. In towards Pau Torres. Forward now towards Kamara, just at the edge of the area. With Rodgers. Maatsen. Rodgers again. Maatsen just at the edge of the area. Kamara. Spinning away from trouble, needs to keep this ball alive though. As Rodgers again, short ball in back from Maatsen, trying to play it square to Onana. There's a challenge in between there from Odegaard, but Villa still get it back here with Onana finding McGinn now, back onto his right, then onto his left foot. Cross charge down here by Trossard. McGinn keeps it alive, he goes back to Cash, back to McGinn. Breaks into the box this time, he puts it in with his right foot, it's only deflected towards the edge of the area. Scoop clearance there from Gyökeres goes completely wrong. At least he gets lucky that it manages to just about go out for a throw rather than a corner.
Yeah, certainly a striker's clearance there on his left foot. Really getting the right connection on it. Giving away a long throw, potentially, for Aston Villa. And he's done well to get it away, but just about.
Just about indeed, as Cash now waiting to take this throw on from the right-hand side. Too many options here for the short throw. Looks like he's winding up for a longer throw here. It's a long throw, ends up at the edge there. Bounces over Amadou Onana and over the first defender who was in Cappy, then drops to Maatsen. The invitation was
ใจ
there.
เย็นนะเอ้ยไลท์เตะแล้วมึงวะ
Dutchman has a much better shot than what he just showed us there, because that one goes a long way.
Connection on the ball, completely wrong. Look a little bit worried in this game, and instead of wide, let this slip, but they're not also able to really create these chances easily.
No, they're not. But I tell you what, how about that for a blast from the past? A guest of Aston Villa's this afternoon is the famous Real Madrid and Spain striker Raúl. So he's in the crowd this afternoon. I tell you what, him and his bomb would be useful just about any Premier League team. He was a superb striker in his day. Very much part of that Galacticos team of Real's
ใจเย็นนะ
90s
เอ้ย
and 2000s. During an afternoon in the West Midlands today, and why not? But it's now back with Arsenal out in midfield with Odegaard, a ball over the top here.
เอาไว้นาทีที่60ครับอาร์เซนอลเรายังมีโอกาสเฮ้ยลาอู
and it's come off Saka last, says the linesman. Well, Saka's not happy. The linesman would say, well, I'm 2 meters away from him, mate. So if I'm saying that, then it must be true.
ลาอูคิดถึงทำไมก่อนเลย
Saka certainly isn't happy. He felt as though there should have been a throw on to Arsenal. Let's have a look here. It's the linesman and Maatsen, right? I think on this occasion it probably has taken a graze off
สวย
Saka.
บริการไป
I think it comes off just the edge of his left boot. Maatsen's done really well there to.
He might have actually not even felt it, so he might have genuinely felt as though it was the wrong decision. But I think on this occasion, I have to say the official has got it right. As Watkins, he was being held onto there by Urian Timber. He's upset with the referee. The referee saying, "I'm not giving a free kick for that." It was the lack of advantage after the first foul here on the Villa left-hand side. As this ball is nodded away, I think it was Tielemans just caught there by Martins evidently. That's what Peter wasn't too keen on. So a free kick now to Villa, which is taken short. 63 minutes, coming up to 63 minutes on the clock there, and now all of a sudden it's getting a little bit harder to call this game. At half-time it seemed like Villa were value for their lead. Can they hold off Arsenal within 8 minutes? The answer is no, it's 1-1, but it's now got quite even again.
Yeah, Arsenal came out all guns blazing, trying to get that goal back, but as soon as we have got that goal back, it's straight back to trying to play it slow and build it up from deep and more of a possession-based style, which I don't think is quite working out for them against this Aston Villa side. When they go gung-ho, it seems to work more for them.
It does. Well, now Villa are getting ready to make their first change. Just as I say that, Hincapi goes all the way back to the line, all the way into his own 6-yard box. And now Villa have won it high up the field. Kamara into the box. What's he doing? What's he waiting for? He tries to go for goal when there were two players he could have played it square to. Arsenal are making their own problems, but then Villa aren't capitalising on them.
Yeah, Kamara, it's just poor there. He's not used to being in that position. I think if that's Watkins, we've obviously seen him take his shots a little bit slower today, but I think in that position, even he'll know to take it with some speed. But Gyökeres coming forward now.
He is on the overlap. Is Ben White. His cross into the penalty area. Isn't going to be long enough for Trossard. It's not cleared by Cash. Second ball does get through to Trossard now with a bit of help from Declan Rice. Trossard turning away from Kamara, having to play back into midfield here, but still keeping the ball alive. Trossard now trying to thread a ball into the box. It's blocked here by Tielemans, and then Tielemans with a quick pass.
บริการ
It's Villa that can go on the counter. Rogers out towards the right-hand side.
สวย
Watkins breaking into the penalty area. Rogers is disappointed, but Watkins goes for goal himself. It's saved by Raya. Second ball is then clear, well blocked by Timber before it's scooped clear and just out towards the left-hand side as Arsenal look, where Declan Rice can then play that into the middle. Quick turn away from trouble here from Odegaard.
เฮ้ยไว้เปิด
Towards Trossard.
เอาไล่ทอซา
Looking to slow things down slightly, but both sides making a mess of potential chances there.
Neither side able to really
สุดยอด
of the other.
เหี้ย
It might even be that type of game where
ชิบหายแล้วไงโรเจอร์
the lead away
โรเจอร์ไป
determine how
คาปิเย่อีคาปิเย่บังไว้บัง
again, but not
ยิงติดเตะโอ้โห
when they came out at half time.
No, they're struggling to have that kind of sprint.
ไหล ไหลยากูบอกเหี้ยอะไรของมึงกันเนี่ย
Finding
เออ
Saka.
โอ้โหไหลเปิดสวยบริการ
To the box. Trossard breaks through. Was he offside? The flag.
จังหวะยังต้องปรับอีกเยอะบริการ
A delay on the call there, but a confirmation that there is an offside and a free kick to Villa.
Yeah, Trossard I think just ran slightly too early. Of course, it's either that or Odegaard played it slightly too late. Just on the replay, he's got a shoulder offside, but shoulder nonetheless. Not necessarily getting away with one, but it's so close of an offside that you can't really say it was played all too well. Just having another look at the Kamara chance. Just takes too long to take the shot in the end.
ไว้
Yilmaz has made his way onto the pitch. Kamara just taking too long, and Watkins being the one to stop.
เฮ้ยสวยยิงไอ้เหี้ยทอซา
He's been out the team for a couple of games.
โอ้โหล้ำหน้า
So that was the case against Wolves last
โอ้โห
weekend. Midweek, Watkins back in the team, back amongst the goals, but he's missed a couple of good chances today. Yeah, frustrated look on the face of the Villa number 11. So he's an ambitious man, Ollie Watkins, and he has to be in the team, of course, as we mentioned, there's the World Cup coming up. Less than pretty much 6 months away, but Arsenal now on the attack here with Odegaard into the box. His effort, though, is straight down the middle. That'll be really frustrating that
ครับเปลี่ยนตัวเว้ย
Arsenal's
เพื่อน
perspective. He did all the hard work, but then couldn't get the right shot to him.
เอา
Yeah, he's done well. I mean, he's shifted away from 2 or 3 Aston Villa players, but in the end, the shot, it's low and hard, but it's straight down the middle. An easy save for a goalkeeper the likes of Emi Martinez. I just think Arsenal need that a little bit more in terms of attacking presence. They're not really forcing the issue right now.
No, they're not, and we can see Mikel Arteta and two of his coaches there in deep discussion, trying to work out exactly what they need to do
เสมอไม่เอานะ
going forward, because this is a game that Arsenal could be
เอา
winning.
สวยโอเดการ์ดไป
Villa can't be
ยิง
Arsenal have gone back into this game in the second half should already be encouragement for them. They just want themselves a throw on in a decent attacking position, which White has taken quickly. Gyökeres then puts a cross in, which is stabbed clear by Konsa. The ball drops to Declan Rice. He wants to go for goal, but his effort is shanked a long way
เนี่ย
over the
ได้
bar.
ไปบอลโลกนะโอเดการ์ดปีเนี้ย
Declan Rice not covering himself in glory there. Ball comes out, it falls well for him. I think it's the angle that he's running onto the ball from. Trying to hook his left foot over the top of it would always be difficult. If he's approaching from the left side, it's a little bit more easy for him. It's not a bad opportunity in the end, it's just the connection he gets all around.
Yeah, the connection isn't quite right, as we can see.
ไว้รีบไปไหนอะ
For Arsenal, just as Urian Timber has missed the ball entirely, and Marlon has taken advantage. Now he's charging towards the penalty area.
โอเคยูเคเดสสุดยอด
They would argue there is more deflection into
เอายิงไร
Now back in possession here with Odegaard, square to Declan Rice. Rice into the Villa half, has support here down the left from Trossard. Breaks into the penalty area's cross, takes a big deflection that just kills all the power on the ball, and now Kamara the shoulder just gets the ball away from his own penalty area towards John McGinn, whose pass doesn't reach Marlon, and Arsenal now have it back. We're over the three-quarter mark in the game, 69 minutes gone. It is Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 1, and here's Dale to take us through to
เอาเฮ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ย
Playing it out to the
ไม่เอา
right-hand
ไม่เอา
side
ใจเย็น
by Saka. He's up against
โอเค
Matson. He
ทิมเบอ
shoots
ร์
it onto his left foot, back towards Odegaard. He takes a shot from range, and that's a brilliant save from Emi Martinez. Odegaard, hands on his head. He can't believe he's not scored there. And I have to say, Emi Martinez just showing the class that he has in the locker. This save is absolutely
เอา
beautiful.
มุมเดิมก่อน
Oh, it is. I mean, it's a superb save. It needs to be as well as Odegaard. He has got
เขาจะเปลี่ยนมุมกล้อง
on the
จังหน่อย
left foot, and as we can see, this one is. It might have been hitting the bar anyway, but Martinez live isn't going to be able to make that call. He has to get something to it, and he does.
Brilliant save in the end from World Cup winning goalkeeper. So it goes behind for a corner. Declan Rice corner.
ผ่านละซาก้า
Deliveries specifically.
เอาดิการ์ดยิงไอ้เฮียไม่ได้เหรอติดเซฟ
Ball into the box.
Oi!
Left-hand side in swinging.
กูเซฟ
Calafiori 2 meter headed back across goal. Saka with the chance, and he tries to put it bottom corner. But it's deflected, charged down. Only clear it as far as Declan Rice again puts the ball into the box, and Timber with the chance couldn't quite reach the ball. Goes behind for an Aston Villa goal kick, but two really big chances there for Arsenal.
Two really big chances. That one from Saka. It looks like it was going on target, but Kamara in the right position there to get in the way of that and make sure he can block it.
Obviously Timber missing out on the. He just stuck a leg out, couldn't quite reach the ball into the box, but still a big opportunity nonetheless. If that's your Gyökeres, maybe he throws a little bit more at it. As Martinez rolls the ball out for Torres to take the goal kick.
เอาซาก้ายิงไอ้เฮียไม่ได้อีก
So, up to the right hand side of Villa as they try and head it down. Tielemans can't collect it. Declan
โอ้
Rice.
ไม่ได้อะไรกันวะเนี่ย
Mendy carries it forward. Gyökeres, he
โอ้
lays it
โห
off.
เพื่อน
Looks like he wants to shoot again. Bukayo Saka now out on the right, tries to deliver a ball back post. Gyökeres with an opportunity, hooked away once more. Calafiori, he's given away a foul there.
A foul and maybe a yellow as well, yeah, because that's a deliberate stopping of a counter-attack there. So Peter Banks has got his number as far as that's concerned. I mean, Odegaard had a little chance to shoot there, but he's so left-footed, he didn't want to go for it with his right. By the time he was trying to set himself with his left, the chance had been and gone.
Calafiori picks up so many yellow cards that he'll miss the next Premier League match. As we concept the one to take this free kick. Just have another look now. As we concept does so well to get his body across. Victor Gyökeres. I say it's a goal-saving challenge realistically. Player the likes of Gyökeres would certainly Let's direct that goalwards, and from that range, it's all on reactions of Emi Martinez as he takes a pass back towards him.
ยอดไม่เป็นไรคาราฟิลลี่
The pitch. As Timber will collect. Aston Villa coming away with the ball, trying to find Daniel Marlin in behind. To do so, Supermendi will carry it out. Hincapie played up the left-hand side, and Matty Cash stabs the ball. Well, stabs his foot at the ball and instead catches the back of the feet. So Jadon Sancho will be making his way on the pitch for Aston Villa, potentially as well.
เอาไว้ชนะเราเอาดี
I think it was warming up, but actually Bogard for Aston Villa. So Jadon Sancho and Bogard making their way onto the pitch.
Yes, they are. So we'll see what changes Emery's got in mind in terms of who's going to be getting the hook. We just saw Trossard getting a bit of treatment as well. So let's hope there's nothing too serious happening for him there. But the referee now showing that Arsenal can restart play, so the change hasn't been made for the time being.
Arsenal getting the game back underway along the back line to the right hand side as Timber carries it in towards Saka. Saka will get past Maatsen, but can't quite do so. Find Odegaard and back to Hincapie.
ๆครับเหมือนจะเปลี่ยนตัวแล้วซันโชเว้ย
Again back up to the right hand side. Arsenal
ซันโช
looking to
ต้องลง
move
แล้ว
forward. Forced back by the Aston Villa press. Bukayo Saka. That's a lovely pass in behind, but can't quite find Odegaard as Maatsen comes away with the ball, driving forward. He's been brought down, no foul. No, has been given a foul. Bukayo Saka absolutely furious. I think that's more for the dissent, the yellow card that he's just received, as the way he responded to the foul being given. You can't really do that in this modern era of football.
Well, I think from that angle, I think that the foul on its own. I mean, he's not getting the ball, only getting the man. I think maybe Saka would arguably was trying to get the ball, but then Maatsen has just been a little bit too quick for him. But that, again, I mean, how many players have been booked over the years for fouls on Saka for exactly that reason? Now with the double change for Villa, you can see John McGinn is off, and Jadon Sancho is on to replace him. It's pretty much a like-for-like swap on that wing, and the other change would be Amadou Onana. He's off to be replaced here by Gasson.
It's Sancho coming
อะไร
with
วะ
Bogard as well.
ฟาวตรงไหนวะ
Makes his way off. Two like-for-like changes in the end
อ๋อโหฟาว
for Aston Villa. Realistically, I think that's all they need at this point. They're playing well. They're able to build the game up and get some chances, but real free-flowing football from either side at this stage. As the free kick's taken inside their own half, Aston Villa. Pau Torres will play it backwards. He's done well to find Martinez. He's then played up the right-hand side, back towards Martinez. So they're playing with fire here. Oh, Aston Villa as Arsenal press forward. Declan Rice wins the header with a long ball. Flick on towards Gyökeres. Saka in behind, but well claimed by Martinez. He had to rush out and get the ball. He's also gotten a knock to the back for his efforts.
He did, yeah. Well, with 15 minutes to play, it's still very hard to call how this game is going to go because both sides have had their moments to try and push forward. We can see as this ball is nodded back, Pau Torres doesn't quite get the contact he could on it, and then you can see Martinez just caught there by Saka, who's only seconds in the book himself. But I think with that one, it was fair to say that there wasn't much intent from Saka. He was actually trying to go for the ball.
Bukayo Saka certainly has every right to challenge there, but of course, you catch your man regardless of intent. Be a foul. Agreeing with that fact as Martinez lines himself up for the free kick. Every free kick in the Aston Villa box has been taken like a goal kick in this game, as this time it looks like Martinez was about to play it short. Saw Saka and Gyökeres looming, thought better of it. Pushes everyone forward, and again he will play it long. Referee ushering the game to continue. Just 15 minutes left on the clock. Short of that as we're actually close to 13, with Maatsen doing well to peel away from his man. Tries to play it in behind to find Concert. Can't quite do so. So Matty Cash will come away with the ball instead. He finds his
ตัวเองแตะ
goalkeeper.
ให้หน่อยดิ
Long ball over the top from Martinez, looking for Marlon, headed away by Hinkapie.
มันไปขึ้นที่โทรศัพท์ตัวเอง
The halfway line. Bogard gets involved for the
แต่
first time in
35
this
นะ
game.
35อนุญาต
Plays the ball on the right hand side. Back to
โอ้โห
Bogard.
นี่กลายเป็นเจ้าของช่องมาแล้ววันเนี้ย
The back line for Aston Villa.
นี่เขาปรับแต่งในช่องเขาเนี่ย
Stage
มัน
of
ขึ้
the
นโทร
game.
ศัพท์ตัวเอง
Aston
เลย
Villa are realising Arsenal aren't really pressing forward, determined, like dying for a goal. So they're happy to hold on to the ball, and that's a missed claim from Calafiori. Daniel Marlon with the chance, and it's just a cross goal. Daniel Marlon, with the form he's in coming off the bench, he's gonna think he should have scored that there. Inclined to agree. Ball over the top, not dealt with well by Calafiori. Picked up by the man on the right, Sancho, and then the shot coming in from Daniel Marlon, just always killing away from goal. Obviously he's hit it with his right, so it's difficult for it not to, but really, really big chance.
That is a really big chance that we could see Unai Emery there head in his hands because he knows that's such a big opportunity. Change here now for Arsenal. The yellow-carded Bukayo Saka is off. Noni Madueke is on to replace him.
เฮ้ยมาเล่นโอ้โห
Brought in as just a respite for Saka.
เหี้ยพลาดเกือบแล้วไงเพื่อน
He's certainly shown Arteta enough to give him the time. Otherwise, he's played into midfield for Tielemans. He does well to find Kamara and take it away from Rice.
เกือบแล้วเพื่อนเกือบโดนอาร์เซนอล
For Cash.
เพื่อนเหลือ10 นาทีแล้วนะเอาหน่อยอาร์เซนอล
Backwards for Kamara. And now Tielemans. That's a lovely pass in behind from Tielemans. Slightly overhit for Rodgers to get
ไม่
to.
เสมอนะไม่เอาไม่อยากเสมอ
So I think Rodgers maybe just a little fatigued there. He wasn't really sprinting.
ไม่อยากเสมอครับ
It was. I mean, in fairness, this ball from Tielemans, as good as it was always a little bit too close to Romero anyway. But that kind of ball, potentially, if it was just 5 yards short of the edge of the box, it might have given Rodgers more of a chance to get on the end of it.
Arsenal back in possession. Up the left-hand side now. Declan Rice back in midfield. No real pressure from an Aston Villa perspective. Allow Arsenal to have the ball, at least in their own box. Sancho start to press towards Zubamendi. As Declan Rice is back on the ball. Quick passes from Arsenal, not allowing Aston Villa to press, but the poor pass from left back means that Kamara can come away with the ball. As Matty Cash clears it high and wide. Up the pitch into midfield as Marlon. He brings it down. Tries to turn away
คา
from
เม
his
ล่าก็
man.
สู้ได้ดีนะเพื่อน
Just trying to carry it forward is Tielemans, but Declan Rice gets a foot on the ball. Arsenal very sure of their own defence. But Aston Villa starting to chip away as they play it backwards from the throw. Back towards Concert. Matty Cash, long ball into midfield, finds Tielemans. One more to Rodgers. Step over onto his left foot, but he's lapsed on by about 3 white shirts, and then Trossard will play back to Raya, who clears. Concert holding up against Gyökeres there. Referee just waving that one away. It's then played to Cash. To the right hand side, finds Rodgers again. Aston Villa come forward. Tielemans trying to find the 1-2, couldn't do so. Instead, finds Marlon in the box. A lovely flick from Marlon, can't quite link up with Tielemans. But if you're looking at how both teams are playing right now, it's looking more and more likely that Aston Villa score.
Right now it is, yeah. It's almost like Arsenal have sort of accepted that they need to sit back and try and soak up Villa pressure just to see out this little spell that the home side have now got. But if Arsenal do that for any longer, then Villa can really capitalise.
As they play it up the left-hand side, Matson does well to find Sancho. Sancho coming forward. That's a good pass to find Matson again. Pulled back across the box. He took a deflection. David Raya
เอาหน่อยเว้ยอาร์เซนอลเว้ย
already down on one knee, both hands on the ground, ready to collect. Took a touch off of Timber's legs, and if that went in, Timber's night would have gone from bad to worse.
Yeah, Timbers got after him. The game for Timbers already been a little bit tough with a couple of collisions and a couple of moments they wouldn't have been too happy with himself. But now ball over the top here, a great chance for Villa as they into the penalty area. Rodgers is blocked first time. Second chance now for
เฮีย
Mara carrying the ball forward up to the right hand side. Ball into
สัตว์ดีไม่เข้าเพื่อน
gets it away. As Trossard will clear further. Gyökeres up against Konsa in a foot race. Konsa didn't lose, but he also didn't win. He just kind of used his already 1 or 2 yards extra space to hold off Gyökeres and allow Martinez to help
เอา
out.
หน่อยเว้ยเซนอนไอ้เฮียมันจะโดนยิง
Villa now slow it down in midfield. As Bogard, he plays it backwards towards Torres. And out to the right for Konsa. Aston Villa happy to have possession, happy to build it up. Can't imagine there'd be too much added time.
ยังได้ซาวิล่าไปแดกอะไรมาเนี่ยซาวิล่า
83rd minute, still Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 1. It's coming from Andy Cash and Leandro Trossard. As Morgan Rogers went to the ground, feeling he was fouled, not given by the referee, and looks like Arsenal could break here as they play it up the right towards Noni Madueke.
แต่ส่วนใหญ่นี้อาร์เซนอลนี่จะแพ้ซาวิล่าอย่าง
Matson
ถ้าเป็นเล่นนะใส่เตะเจอ
Madueke.
ปีที่แล้วนี่เสมอ1แล้วก็แพ้1
Box closed down by Matson, so it will be an Arsenal throw.
เฮ้ยเสมอ1ชนะ1
Ben White plays it in towards the byline, cut back across goal, but cleared away by Bogard.
สวย
Back
เป็นไว้ไป
towards White. Then Urian Timber. Now
ครับ
Zubimendi.
เพื่อนๆซาก้าออกมาดูไอ้เก้ไป
Chance to build up an opportunity of their own. Declan Rice, Calafiori.
มาดูไอ้เก้นี่เล่นแบบเป็นไว้โอเค
Side
เลย
pass
นะ
though
เพื่อน
from Arsenal.
ซาก้าเดี๋ยวนี้เริ่มไอ้นี่ละ
Space or even half space to try and play a pass into. Try and catch this Aston Villa side off guard.
Well, it's been a little spell there where Villa had a lot of the ball. So it's important now for Arsenal to respond with some possession themselves. Still got 6 minutes plus a bit of injury time. As you mentioned, it shouldn't be too much of it. It's really only for the substitutions that we've had in this second half. But yeah, I mean, overall, it's been an interesting game, a very interesting game in terms of the to and fro. Now we'll see if we can find a winner later on.
The ball comes into the box, takes a deflection off of Matty Cash in behind. So it will be an Arsenal corner. They'll take that chance. Just looking back at it there, Urian Timber sliding in, taking a foot on the ball, so very nearly directing it goalwards. To say, you've got to have a bit more of a shout there though from David Raya. Didn't seem like he said anything behind Urian Timber.
No, he didn't. And to say without
Oh,
hearing,
mum.
without sort of having the pitch might, it's hard to know. But when it's that close to
เอา
goal,
แล้ว
you
กา
need
เบีย
to
มันตีลี่มาเว้ย
give you a message there. Really.
กาเบียลี่จะแทนใครอะทีเนี้ย
Be a corner from the left-hand side, so that will be Declan Rice to take it. It looks like Gabriel Martinelli and Miles Lewis-Skelly will be making their way onto the pitch soon, but not right now, as the corner will come first. Declan Rice from the left-hand side, ball into the box on the goalkeeper, and it's over the bar. Did Martinez get his hand to it? He certainly raised a hand for it, but he's claiming he didn't take a touch, and I think it's been given
คา
his
ราเฟ
way.
ลลี่น่าจะออกแล้วอีกคนหนึ่งคือใครอะ
Let's look again. It's Kerlin. It's always
มันจะยืนหลัง
Kerlin.
3แล้ววะ
If you get a touch on it, the goalkeeper, I think he
มัน
might.
เป็นไว้อ่อยคนหนึ่งเหรอ
I still say it's inconclusive. You can't say for definite that he has. He looks like he might do, but you can't say for definite. But one thing is for definite, Arsenal are making some changes here later on, and the substitute's going to get substituted.
Yeah, it looks like Leandro Trossard came onto the pitch, make his way off of it. Calafiori and Trossard off.
นิดเดียว
Two
อะ
left-sided players here for Arsenal. As we'll see, is going to be Miles Lewis-Skelly and Gabriel Martinelli.
คาราเฟลลี่ออก
It's interesting that
โอเดการ์ดออกแล้ว
Mikel Arteta
Wow.
thought his job was done.
เฮ้ย
Trossard, I don't think he'd started to fall out of the game. I don't think he was
เฮ้ยทอซาออกเหร
offering
อ
anything less than he had
ทำไม
been.
ทอซาออกอ่ะ
So it's a curious decision from Arteta, but
น่า
of
จะ
course,
เจ็บเปล่าวะ
Gabriel Martinelli comes on and scores the winner. Who am I to question him? As it seems like Matty Cash will
น่า
also
จะ
be
เจ็บก่อนเพื่อน
Yeah, the goal scorer here for Villa. He's getting the hook here late on. He's hobbling a bit after that earlier collision. So he's off the field now, along with Pau Torres.
เอา
So
ลิน
Victor
เลิฟลงว่ะ
Lindelof is on to replace Pau Torres, and Emi Buendia is on to replace Cash. But that just means that maybe perhaps they'll ask Kamara or Bogard to sit a little bit deeper.
certainly a makeshift right back for the time being. Lindelof and Pau Torres replace each other. Molo plays it out to the right hand side. Rogers to collect it up against the fresh Lewis Skelly. 49 does well to get a touch on the ball, but recovered well into towards Buendia. Hooked away by Hincapi. Hooked away poorly though, as he tried to find Madueke. The passing towards him way behind. And goes out behind for an Aston Villa throw. Tielemans finds Konsa. Time running out for either side to get a winner in this game. Aston Villa at home, such a good home record, able to close the points distance between Arsenal and themselves with a win. Falls to the edge of the box. Tielemans with the shot, chased down by Declan Rice in towards the penalty area. Buendia's brought it down beautifully. Tries a flick to find Marlon, can't do so. Hooked away by Zubamendi and cleared on even further as it's being chased down by Martinelli. Conte has to get involved. Fouled by Martinelli. To get involved somehow. Try and win that ball back. He's aware, as much as everyone else, that time's running out, but that's not the way to do it.
It's not the way to do it. No, it just guarantees that the referee is gonna get involved as well. This free kick, less than 2 minutes to go before injury time. Who do you think there? Who's going to be happier or more angry with the result? Or are they both going to say, well, actually, looking at in the round, probably it's not a bad result?
I think more so that neither side would necessarily be happy with either, because Aston Villa, they're at home and they were 1-0 up at one point. They'll feel somewhat aggrieved that they let Arsenal get back into it. And of course, Arsenal, they're in such good form.
YouTube มันแก้ใหม่มันบอกว่ามันจะสตรีมทั้งรูปแบบแนวตั้งแนวนอนได้เลยอะตัวเองนี่ไง YouTube มันแก้เดี๋ยวเขาต้องลองทำจะได้ปรับเป็นแนวนอนเหมือนเดิมดีแต่มันนี่มันได้2แบบเลยได้ทั้งแนวตั้งแล้วก็แนวนอนฮะเนี่ยมันสร้างมาใหม่ไลฟ์สด2 เวอร์ชันมันเพิ่งอัปเดตใหม่
Swiftly as possible to try and get back into that kind of winning form. Right now it is Arsenal still trying to get forward through the middle.
Madueke dancing around the sliding challenges. No foul given. There was a foul given by the referee.
ดูทรงน่าจะเสมอว่าเพื่อน
Whistle to bring play back. To the 90th minute. Sliding challenges going in left and right there from claret and blue shirts, and Tielemans in the end getting the final challenge that was deemed a foul, but
okay, they foul.
Yeah, I think it was just a case of the referee picking his moment really to say that we're going to stop play there for that one. It's a free kick now and a chance to go towards the box.
น่าจะเสมอดูทรงถ้าเสมอแบบนี้อาร์เซนอลจะมี34คะแนนนะครับนำซิตี้6คะแนนถ้าวันนี้ซิตี้ชนะก็จะมี31คะแนนมันก็ไม่ได้เป็นผลดีกับอาร์เซนอลเท่าไหร่แต่ก็ยังดีกว่าแพ้วะบอลเล่นในบ้านด้วยในบ้านเซวิลล่าด้วย
Seems like Bogard was given the fullback duties after that substitution. It will be a long throw, potentially from Miles Lewis-Skelly. Hincapi, Martinelli, head then to the penalty area. Declan Rice, it seems to be the one.
ดูอากาศที่อังกฤษดูตัวเอง11 องศาบอลนี่เตะสบายเลยนะไม่หนาวเลย
To be a long throw. Everyone in an Arsenal shirt is on the back post and so they're close.
ไปเว้ยทดเวลา4 นาที
Flicked on once more by Hincapi, but in the end, Martinez, the only one alert to the fact that it was flicked on. Plays it up to the right hand side. That's a good switch ball, but always curling away from Marlon in the end. So they struggle to catch up to it. And then Odegaard.
เอาเว้ยมีปฏิหารย์ด้วยเว้ยมีดราม่าช่วงท้ายเกมหน่อย
Running out for Arteta's side if they to get all 3 points from this game. Timber. Madueke. Madueke does well to shift inside Maatsen. Maatsen stumbles, but he's helped out well by Tielemans, who comes away with the ball and plays it in towards Sancho. Sancho, the former Chelsea man, former Man United man. We've had plenty of games against Arsenal where
น่าจะเสมอดูทรงนะ
they play and how big of a game would have been for him necessarily. Plays up the left-hand side. Tries to flick it onto Sancho. Can't quite catch it. International.
No, at the end of this game, I get the feeling it's because both sides have a point. They don't want to push it too much, and you get the feeling that both Arsenal and Villa could certainly try and do a little bit more in these final stages, but why risk it when there's a chance you could end up losing the game? And Arsenal are going to try again here down the left-hand side with Martinelli.
Martinelli carrying it forward. Just to say that, I think he made more distance going backwards. He's played it all the way back to Hincapi now.
เอาเว้ยเพื่อนๆ2 นาที
Timber. Back to Hincapi. He'll play a long ball over the top. It'll be Declan Rice who brings it down. Ball in towards the box on the back post. And Madueke into the side netting on the near post. It's a good shot in the end, but not the shot that you want necessarily.
Could he have played this square as well? I just wonder when he gets into the 6-yard box. It's a really good ball from Rice. I mean, Gyökeres is there. In fairness, he has got Pau Torres on his back as well, so it's not a guarantee that Gyökeres would have got the shots away. But that one into the side netting is well into the side netting. It's nowhere close in actual fact.
โอ้โหเป็นวิกเก้
Certainly wanting to impress. I feel he should have done better. Less than 60 seconds left on the clock now, and seems like neither side wanting to commit. Press on. Late goal.
รีบไปหน่อยมาดูวิกเก้
Goal kick is taken. Played up the left-hand side. Daniel Marlin in behind. Dealt with well by Hincapi. 30 seconds left on the clock, and Hincapi nowhere to run. Runs it over the touchline. Sancho takes the throw in quickly. Sancho dancing between 3 Arsenal players. Buendia set up the shot, but a touch from Odegaard took it away from him. Tielemans now to Kamara. Up to the right-hand side. Marlin in the penalty area. He's got Hincapi on his back. Played out to the right. Ball into the box on the back post. The header comes in. A chance. Aston Villa. Shot comes in from the 6-yard box. Buendia. Kamara. No shot coming off. Arsenal just need to hug it away. Buendia scores late in the game. The ball was bouncing around the 6-yard box, but no one could get the shot off. Buendia, in the end, does get the shot off. Puts it in the back of the net. Aston Villa lead 2-1. Arsenal regretting not pressing on.
Well, that goal comes 3 seconds after the 4 minutes of added time that we were supposed to have. So the goal, of course, still within time as it has to get back into a non-attacking position. It's pretty much the last
เรียบร้อยเลย
Absolute delight for Aston Villa. Clearly, Buendia has a family member or family members
โอ้โห
in the crowd this evening, because as soon as he scores that goal, he peels away and charges towards the halfway line.
ไอ้เหี้ย
The main stand, but the Argentine is absolutely delighted, as is his manager, as is 85% of Villa Park, barring the away end.
I think it's a safe goal for Aston Villa. They were certainly the team.
Over the 90 minutes, yes. I think over the 90 minutes in terms of who had the most attacking intent, I would agree with you that it is Villa. And we'll have a quick check just to see if there's any offside shenanigans with this one. I don't think there was, as this first ball comes in. No offside there, no offside there. And as Buendia falls, gets it back from Kamara. No, there's no issue. This goal will stand and Villa will win.
It's very, very scrappy, but Aston Villa and Unai Emery, they won't care. Buendia wheels away in celebration of his 4th Premier League goal. It's poor defensively from Arsenal. Of course, we knew that they'd struggle with the way, the injuries that they've had, but still not dealt with well. And that is full time. They won't even get the game back underway. VAR have cleared the goal. Buendia with the late winner as Aston Villa lead at full time, 2-1.
จบเกมเพื่อน
Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match?
จบเลย
Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the
ค
first
รับจ
player
บ
to
เกม
score,
เพื่อน
the
อาร์เซ
last
นอลนะครับ
scorer,
แพ้ซาวิ
correct
ลล่า
score,
2-1
double
นะครับ
result, total
ประ
goals
ตูแรก
marking,
นะครับจากเม
handicap
ทิแคนนาที
betting, or
36
any
นะครับ
other
แล้วก็
of
ทอ
our
สซา
exciting
ก็
markets.
ตีเสม
It's
อนา
fun
ที
to
ที่
be
52
involved.
แล้วก็บูเอนเดี
Don't
ยนะค
forget
รับ
when
นา
the
ที
match
ที่
kicks off,
90 บว
you
ก
can
5
sit
นะครับ
back
ทำ
and
ให้จบเก
enjoy
มนะครับ
superb
อาร์
independent
เซนอล
studio commentary
แพ้
while
ซา
also
วิลล่า
enjoying
2-1
our
นะครับ
in-play
เพื่อน
betting opportunities.
ทำให้
Good luck.
อาร์เซนอลนะครับตามอาร์เซนอล3 แต้มนะครับถ้าวันนี้ แมนซิตี้ชนะก็จะตามอาร์เซนอลอีกแค่2แต้มนะครับเพื่อนๆเอาวะ
Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer.
โอเค
so
ไม่เป็นไรครับ
opportunity of having a bet on
วั
the
นนี้
match. Whether you're
แอส
interested
ตัน
in
วิลล่าก็เล่น
betting
ดี
on
ด้ว
the
ย
match result,
ไปก่อน
first player
วันนี้เราไปก่อนนะครับเพื่อนๆก็ขอบคุณมากนะครับฝากกดไลค์กดแชร์ฝากกดติดตามหน่อยวันนี้ไปก่อนราตรีสวัสดิ์ฝันดีครับพี่